What's up, everybody? It's Gavin here with NBA Real Talk, and I thought we'd have some more fun today, just like we always have on this channel. It's all about fun, and we'd review these, the Reebok Answer IV Red PE from Allen Iverson from his MVP 2000-2001 season. Now, these shoes, when they originally released back in 2001, were a low top, not a mid. So they were probably about, I'll just show you a picture, it's easier than me trying to pretend, but we did not have access to this shoe back in the day. So this is pretty much the closest thing to a PE you're gonna get on Reebok's site. They say you won't get closer to a pair of Allen Iverson shoes unless you stole them right out of his closet. So these are a retro release. I believe they were released in 2020, 2021. And these are awesome, okay? You know what, I'm very happy with these. I never had these growing up. I never went for this shoe. I don't know why. I don't get that much red stuff. I don't know why. But it's so cool to have this shoe. And I've come to realize, looking these up on the internet, that this is by far and away the most popular colorway of the Answer IV, which I'm pretty surprised to hear. I don't know if originally these were supposed to be his all-star pair, because I noticed in successive years with the Answer V, the Answer VI, the Answer VII, his all-star shoes were always red. So I don't know if these were supposed to be his all-star pair, but if you remember the 2001 All-Star Game, which he won the MVP of that All-Star Game as well, he just rocked a pair of questions. So I don't know if the original intent for these was to be in the All-Star Game, but we know one thing about AI. He was known for kind of doing what he wanted, when he wanted, how he wanted. So he said that this shoe was the biggest hassle he was ever given Reebok throughout his career, because he was always asking for more colors and other colorways. So I think there's a chance this might have been intended for the All-Star Game, but he's like, hey, I want those now, I want to rock them now, and he did. So when these released originally, we got that low top. We had a white and red low top in this exact colorway, and we had a white with a gray, gray front colorway. And so again, to have this shoe 20 years later, that is basically the closest thing to a PE you're gonna get, especially considering they don't really release PEs exactly as they were worn by the player, but we'll get into that in another video. Bottom line is, it's an awesome shoe. It's not identical to the ones that they had in 2000. So I have a pair of 2000s back there, all beat up and busted to hell. And I was gonna try to pull the sock liner out to show you the difference between that sock liner and this sock liner, but it started to crumble, and I don't want to disintegrate my 21-year-old pair of Iversons just to pair the sock liners. But I believe the DMX that's in this is not the same DMX that we had in those original pairs. It's still pretty comfortable. It's still pretty good. For those of you who don't know, the DMX technology was this air transfer technology. It would usually be about 4 or 5 pods in the back, and then a little tube to transfer to the front, where there'd be another 4 or 5 pods or a big giant pod. And it's by far one of the comfiest technologies that has ever been made, even to date. To date, I still love DMX technology, and I think it's the comfiest thing ever. I set it off back in the year 2000 when I got these in junior, so it was about 8th grade. 8th grade, I got the original Iversons in just that blue and white color, and then all of a sudden everybody in my school had to get them. Back then it was all about Nikes. No one even had Jordans, it was just everybody wore Nikes. Some people wore Adidas sometimes, nobody wore Reebok. And I just showed up this one day with the Iversons, and they were the comfiest shoe in the world, and all of a sudden everybody had to get them. And I remember the face, the signature of every pair of Answer IVs, Iverson's face in the bottom. This used to be metal in the initial Answer IV release. So right now I can kind of push on this a little, and it's just a little bit soft. The old ones, it was actual metal, and I remember all of us, we accidentally dented in the faces, whether it's just something that happened over time, because the shoe was known to kind of wear out a little bit, or initially we actually, in the school, you know, they got those little stops behind the door that the door stops against, all the school doors, and we noticed that we could step on them, and they would insert into this hole. I don't know why we do that. It's just something you do when you're 13, 14 years old, is step on it. And then we realized we dented the face afterwards. And, you know, whatever, that's part of wearing a shoe. Speaking of the bottoms, they got, I believe this is just what they call a herringbone tread, and it's awesome. Really good grip. And you got your, I think it's like a carbon shank, whatever the heck that is. And then, you know, the grip on the back is pretty basic. So you got your, it labels it, you know, it's still got the DMX label. I really don't know what kind of DMX they are or aren't putting in here, or if it's the same. I don't think it's the same. It doesn't feel the same, but it's still a pretty comfortable shoe. As a matter of fact, I'd say on the newer models, I feel like they've improved the heel lock a little bit. So the Answer 4 is notorious for having really good, like, it really locks your foot in, but not just the Answer 4, a lot of Iverson shoes. The heel is a little bit questionable sometimes. I feel like the heel lock on this has been improved a little bit. I mean, that's probably gonna, you know, vary, you know, individually, person to person. This is such a classic shoe, such classic design. You got the gray that runs along. It was 3M back in the day, so it was reflective. I haven't checked these yet, but I sure hope they have that reflective stuff. You know, it's got oh yeah. We can't talk about this shoe without getting into the leather upper now of all the different shoes over the years. The Jordans, the different types of Nikes, you know, all the types of shoes that rocked all kinds of patent leather and high quality leather. This is some, even on these retros, which we know they're charging more and going cheaper on making, but even then, even on these retros, this tumbled leather is just, oh, it feels so good. And they got it inside the shoe too, so they do run a little hot in that sense, but nothing you're not gonna be able to stand. And like the comfort level is just like, these, even when you beat them up, like, they stay solid because of the way they're made with that leather. I believe it's still leather on the toe, and then there's sort of like a synthetic material right here to kind of complete the toe of the shoe. You got, you know, they zip up, you lock them in with the strap. Now, this is so funny, is back in the day, all the general releases of the Answer didn't have this Velcro strap. That's something only AI himself had, because his zippers kept busting open, and then eventually he'd just wear the shoe open anyway, which I feel like everybody, I don't know, does anybody close these shoes anymore? Like, does anybody wear them zipped up? Because we're all trying to be like AI. Everybody has this shoe to be like AI. So what's funny is, though, they've included this this little Velcro on the shroud now, and I don't think they even need it anymore. I think they fixed whatever was making the zippers bust open back in the day, because I've got a blue pair from the I think it was 2014 release of the Answer 4, and it has this Velcro strap, but whether I do it up or not, when I zip them up, they don't seem to come unzipped. So I think they figured that one out. You got so many awesome details with the i3 and where it pops up. Oh yeah, the tongue. So the tongue of the shoe, pretty breathable, sort of mesh. Got the i3 running down the tongue, the classic Reebok across the top, and then of course Iverson's arm with his tattoos in there, only the strong survive, and the Answer. So on the back, you got a nice little pull tab, an i3 symbol, you got the Iverson there, and you got that little Reebok sign on the bottom. So this is so awesome. I'm so happy to have these shoes. I'm so happy to be part of the club now of everyone's favorite Answer. This shoe runs pretty much true to size. I went like half a size up because I don't play basketball anymore. I'm just gonna be walking around in these, so I want to make sure I'm comfy, but you should be fine basically going with your size. One thing about Iverson's, they've always been pretty good about having good room in the toe box and stuff, so whatever kind of foot you have, it's usually going to fit it pretty well. At least my experience with Iverson's is people of all feet, all shapes and sizes, they all, you know, they all wear them and they all rock them and they all love them. They're all comfortable. So this has been Gavin with NBA Real Talk, signing out, having fun, talk about those Iversons. We'll bring up another pair next time in the next video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.